Welcome back, Rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. Today we'll be revealing the highly anticipated answers to the 250 subs quiz. You guys did an awesome job and were much more cooperative than I expected. Many of you posted in the comments below, sharing your hard work, instead of keeping it secret and sending it to me via PM. I think that says a lot about how awesome you Rivals are. That it's more about having fun and solving the puzzle than winning any kind of prize. Either that or, the prizes were subpar and you just thought it wasn't worth the extra effort. Well, there's no need for me to drone on and on. Let's get straight to the answers. Question 1, Internal Affairs. 2 characters in Clint City were released as part of a certain clan, but later they changed clans together. Who were they and what was their original clan? The answer was Swid CR and Tessa CR. Both were originally in Junks. Upon release, UR decided that these 2 cards would be in the Junks clan, but apparently Soleil Publishing didn't think it fit with the characters' profiles, so they were both moved to the Sentinel clan. Interesting, huh? This is a relatively well-known fact, but if you didn't know, then now you do. Question 2, Mistakes. One character was known for his 2-star artwork being drawn on top of or in front of another UR character's 1-star artwork. Name both characters. The answer was Orin and Peg. Many of you thought I simply meant the picture of another UR card was drawn somewhere on that character's. Sadly, Tiwi LD and Calendar CR don't even have the same 1 or 2-star artwork in either direction for Tiwi. Notice the title says Mistake, and also on top of or in front of. This is referring to the semi-infamous Orin picture, where for some reason, on his full artwork, Orin's 2-star artwork was literally just placed on top of Peg's 1-star artwork. It was only visible in the full artwork of Orin, however. For question 3, Artwork. Which character does this image belong to? The answer was Vinny, his pills. Hopefully this one wasn't too hard. As long as you were able to copy, notice that the title was Traits or Artwork, then if you've ever read Vinny's bio, it was kind of a dead giveaway. Question 4, RBs. Who was the last RB released before they were rebranded to be more accessible as they are now? And what number RB was it? The answer was Striker RB, the 6th RB. This one is going to be very controversial. Lots of you wrote Vermin N RB, but Vermin N RB was the first released after the change, not the last one before the change. If you look at the dates of all the RB releases, let's look here. First, you'll notice that they basically were released approximately every 2 weeks, both before and after Vermin N RB, except right between Striker RB and Vermin N RB. There is a 2-month break in there that UR used to reevaluate and try and decide what to do with RBs, making April of 2015 the only month to not receive an RB since the first RB, Nanook RB, in January 2015. The reason this one was more difficult was that people who got Vermin N RB were actually given refunds if they had him in their collection at the time of the refund announcement. However, when I checked my guild's page, there was a thread created on the same day as Vermin N RB's release, saying that there was an announcement for the RB change-up as to how they would be released and the fate of the original cards. And this was what I meant by when they were repurposed. So I apologize. It turns out that this one was actually a lot harder and trickier than I thought it would be. Up next, question 5, about traits. This image contains hints describing one character. Who is it? The answer was Sakazuki. Hopefully this one was a little fun for you. Sakazuki's bio states that he makes sushi, thus the fish. He can even make a pair of chopsticks deadly, thus the lightsaber chopsticks. And that you'd better have a reservation, thus the reservation sign. In question 6 about the entourage, 2 cards have 5 visible humans and 1 level of their artwork. Who are they and which star levels? The answers were Mechakolos and Zubat, both at their 2-star. Many of you proposed alternative answers of Barbacodel's shrunken heads, Titus's digested but visible prey, or Lydia's pictures in Vermeer's artwork. While these may be very close, and they were definitely creative, 1, I don't consider body parts, heads, arms, etc. to be humans. 2, Lydia's pictures are only of her, making it 6 pictures of 1 human, not 6 humans. And 3, I also wrote 5, not more than 5. The biggest hint should have been that fitting 5 people into one picture would require a huge character. That should have narrowed it down to all the big monsters and mechas, and perhaps Slopsh. And only Mechakolos and Zubat have 5 humans in their artworks clearly visible. Next, for question 7 about stats. Before Ambre's max of 10 was instated, 2 cards were tied for the highest potential sum of their power and damage after modifications. Now, this card is the second highest. Name the card and all the conditions required to reach its current stats. Many of you were mostly correct. Okay, the answer was indeed Stooge at 24. But as for the conditions, you did not name all of the conditions required. First, it needed to be versus an 8-8 with no DR, SOA, or SOB. So that limits it to not DJ Core CR. Or Kiki or Uktul with their bonus. Versus Cortez or Nega DLD or Uktul or Kiki CR with no bonus, then he would still be okay. It also required a Courage and Revenge round with Amber in hand and Furied. The ones that most of you missed were that you needed to have one other Frozen card in your hand. Just because you have Stooge doesn't mean his bonus is there unless there's another card in your hand. And perhaps the trickiest of all the conditionals, which no one got, was that your opponent must not have Eric or Volt in their hand, because Eric would reduce his power by 1, or Volt his damage by 2. Stooge is indeed the answer. He used to hit 13-12, but with Amber's max, he lost 1 power, since his base power is 8, and, if you didn't know this, cards that have copy power and damage, if they copy an 8 power, even if their base power is below, it still only goes to 10. However, many of you were not specific enough to get full credit. Most of you got the basics, but you neglected to mention that final piece of the puzzle, that your opponent does not have Eric or Volt. If you don't think it's fair, then I would disagree. In order to get full credit, you already needed to mention that your opponent had to have an 8-8 card without DR, SOA, or SOB. Okay, DJ Core CR is 8-8, but his DR would prevent the 12-12 from appearing. If you have to mention a specific card in an opponent's hand, then it's more than to say you must state if a card must not be there. You also had to mention a leader card in your hand, so why not mention one in your opponent's hand? I said I'd be picky on this one. I have to be, since setting up Stooge to actually be able to do this essentially requires the opponent to let you. Many others took some things for granted, only saying versus an 8-8 card, or forgetting to say another Frozen card must also be in their hand to activate the bonus. As a side note, actually a few other cards are tied for second with Stooge. For example, Angie, Courage plus Amber and Fury, Power versus Power Up versus a 9 power card, no Volt or Eric, makes her a 14-10, and you must have another Bangers card in your hand. And now, Wooly, on round 4, Courage plus Amber, Fury, no Volt, Eric, SOA or SOB, minus Power or DR, which puts him at 15-9, plus another Uluwatu card in your hand. Cards at 23 power are Zoe, Fiddler, Toshi LD, Kagura, Anuka, Eleanor, and Dakote. Many people assumed that Noctizuma was also at the top of this list, but he doesn't. Many of you forgot that his ability is Reprisal, while Amber's leader ability is Courage-based, opposites that can never happen together. Instead, best Noctizuma can be paired with Timber versus Frozen, only getting him to 22, which is 2 points under second place. For question 8, Bio Murder Mystery. At my clanmate and director's request, we raised a special toast to another clanmate, whom my clan already thought was a loser, because my presence now made him completely obsolete. Who am I? The answer was Ivy. This question was a lot of fun for me to make. I may actually do more of these in the future. The 3 characters involved here are Ivy, Otavia, and Pino. Otavia is Ivy's clanmate and director, as per Ivy and Otavia's bios. Ivy's bio also holds the key to the special toast. It mentions her special and super special drinks, being used to off people. Pino is the one killed here, being completely obsolete after Ivy came to Clint City, as both are 6/2 2-star cards, but Pino has no ability, and Ivy has poison. And Pino's bio also mentioned that his entire clan, the Montanas, thought he was a loser. Up next is question 9 on fashion. Which character wears pink Crocs? The answer was Lorenzo. It figures that the guy wearing the urine bag would also be wearing pink Crocs. It's also funny to me because you'd probably never expect pink Crocs on a Montana card. I think Crocs look silly, so I'm sorry if my Crocs jokes offended any of you. I still respect you as a person, even if you wear silly-looking shoes. And finally, for question 10, the name game. There are several characters that have 3 of the same letter in their name, twice. Please ignore RBs. All letters in the name count. If you can then only look at the repeated letters, you can form a common strategy-based RPG's class's name. Which class is it? I had to amend this one as one of you rivals found a 4th card that I had missed, which was Dolores Boss, with 3 S's and 3 O's. The answer here, the 3 characters were El Papagallo. I actually played with El Papagallo the same ELO week as when I released this question, which was also kind of a big hint to try and help some of you notice what one of the cards was. In addition, the second one was Noon Stevens, which was the reason I had to remove RBs. The fact that I would put such a arbitrary rule in there should have been another guess. But perhaps it also threw you off by thinking that if Noon Stevens' RB doesn't count, then Noon Stevens also shouldn't count. And then finally, Dr. Copernicus CR, which is why, again, I had to say look at all the letters in the name, because 3 R's only come if you count the R in Doctor and the R in CR. So, between these we have A and L, E and N, C and R. And this was where the last hint came in, strategy-based RPG. If it's a strategy-based RPG, then I've probably said that for a reason. It's not a normal RP class's name, so Lancer was the answer. I believe only one person got this one right. This question wasn't as much hard as it was labor-intensive. Okay? So great job to my one rival who did manage to answer this question. So, who won? Well, I'm making this video before the official cutoff, so that means I can't announce the winners in this video. However, I will be posting below, once I have the time, the winners in the comments section. And by the end of my day, so within 12 hours of the release of this, you should know what place you got based on the comment in the bottom, and your card should be sent to you. If you do not receive your card and you are not mentioned in the comment, please let me know, and I will make sure to make it up to you with whatever place you should have had, meaning that I will indeed give you a double of that card. Also, please make sure that you have given me your name. I may not actually have your UR in-game name. Many of you did give it to me, but a few of you I believe did not, and so I will need you to let me know who you are so that I can actually send you your card in-game. I hope you guys enjoyed this quiz. I hope it was fun for you. And again, thank you all so much. 250 subs. I'm just absolutely amazed that you guys seem to enjoy coming here and watch my videos, and I just have a blast making these for you. So, thank you again for playing this. If you like this video and you like this quiz, make sure to like it and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.